Hello viewers. Many foods have been shown to cause or worsen constipation. Making changes to your diet and reducing your intake of these foods can help promote regularity. Constipation is a common problem that's generally defined as having less than 3 bowel movements per week. In fact, as many as 27% of adults experience it and its accompanying symptoms, such as bloating and gas. The older or more physically inactive you get, the more likely you are to experience it. Some foods can help relieve or reduce the risk of constipation, while others can make it worse. This video examines 7 foods that can cause constipation. Alcohol is frequently mentioned as a likely cause of constipation. That's because if you drink alcohol in large amounts, it can increase the amount of fluids lost through your urine, causing dehydration. Poor hydration, either due to not drinking enough water or losing too much of it through urine, is often linked to an increased risk of constipation. Alcohol, especially when consumed in large amounts, can have a dehydrating effect that may increase the risk of constipation. Effects may vary from person to person, and more studies are needed before strong conclusions can be made. Gluten is a protein found in grains like wheat, barley, rye, spelt, kamut, and triticale. Some people may experience constipation when they eat foods that contain gluten. Also, some people are intolerant to gluten. This is a condition known as gluten intolerance or celiac disease. In most countries, an estimated 0.5–1% of people have celiac disease, but many may not be aware of it. Chronic constipation is one of the common symptoms. Avoiding gluten can help relieve and heal the gut. This is important, as gluten needs to be in your diet for the test for celiac disease to work properly. If you've ruled out celiac disease, you may want to experiment with consuming different levels of gluten to evaluate its effects on you. Individuals with celiac disease, NCGS, or IBS may be more likely to experience constipation as a result of consuming gluten or wheat. Processed grains and their products, such as white bread, white rice, and white pasta, are lower in fiber and may be more constipating than whole grains. That's because the bran and germ parts of the grain are removed during processing. In particular, the bran contains fiber, a nutrient that adds bulk to stool and helps it move along. Many studies have linked a higher fiber intake to a lower risk of constipation. In fact, a recent study reported a 1.8% lower likelihood of constipation for every additional gram of fiber consumed per day. If you are constipated and already consuming a lot of fiber-rich whole grains, adding more fiber to your diet is unlikely to help. In some cases, it may even make the problem worse. Milk and dairy products. Dairy appears to be another common cause of constipation, at least for some people. Infants, toddlers, and children appear particularly at risk, possibly due to a sensitivity to the proteins found in cow's milk. A review of studies conducted over a 26-year period found that some children with chronic constipation experienced improvements when they stopped consuming cow's milk. In a recent study, children aged 1 to 12 with chronic constipation drank cow's milk for a period of time. The cow's milk was then replaced by soy milk for a subsequent period of time. Red meat. Red meat may worsen constipation for 3 main reasons. First, it contains little fiber, which adds bulk to stools and helps them move along. Second, red meat may also indirectly reduce a person's total daily fiber intake by taking the place of higher fiber options in the diet. This is especially true if you fill up on a large portion of meat during a meal, reducing the amount of fiber-rich vegetables, legumes, and whole grains you can eat in the same sitting. This scenario would lead to an overall lower daily fiber intake, potentially increasing the risk of constipation. Fried or fast foods. Eating large or frequent portions of fried or fast foods may also increase the risk of constipation. That's because these foods tend to be high in fat and low in fiber, a combination that can slow digestion in the same way that red meat does. Fast food snacks like chips, cookies, chocolate, and ice cream may also replace more fiber-rich snack options, such as fruits and vegetables in a person's diet. This can further increase the likelihood of constipation by reducing the total amount of fiber consumed per day. Interestingly, many people believe chocolate is one of the main causes of their constipation. Persimmons. Persimmons are a popular fruit from Eastern Asia that may be constipating for some people. Several varieties exist, but most can be categorized as either sweet or astringent. In particular, astringent persimmons contain a large amount of tannins, a compound thought to reduce gut secretions and contractions, slowing down bowel movements. For this reason, people experiencing constipation should avoid consuming too many persimmons, especially astringent varieties. Constipation is an unpleasant condition that's relatively common. If you have constipation, you can achieve smoother digestion by making some simple changes to your diet. Start by avoiding or reducing your intake of constipating foods, including the ones listed above. If you're still experiencing difficulties after reducing your intake of constipating foods, ask your healthcare provider to recommend additional lifestyle and dietary strategies.